Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of 10 years ago. Now tonight we're going to look at WWE Unforgiven 2000 show, an interesting show that I don't remember watching since, excuse me, since the night it aired 10 years ago. Obviously, a couple of things that we should go through before the show, because a couple of big things went down between SummerSlam and here. So, speaking of SummerSlam, we saw Brock Lesnar defeat The Rock clean as a whistle in a good match to win the WWE Undisputed Championship. Now, the next night on Raw, Triple H defeated The Undertaker to become the #1 contender to that championship. However, Stephanie McMahon announced that Brock Lesnar will be appearing exclusively on SmackDown from that point forward. Now, The Undertaker was not happy about this and he wanted to be the champion, so he jumped to SmackDown. Not sure how he did this, whether he was traded or whatever, but he jumped to SmackDown, beat Chris Benoit to become the #1 contender on SmackDown. Therefore, he is the #1 contender. Happy days. There is a problem with this. There's a problem with this. Of course, you have two #1 contenders. You have Triple H, you have The Undertaker. So, of course, they're going to have a match at Unforgiven. No, they're not going to have a match at Unforgiven. That'd just be stupid, wouldn't it? What we do is Eric Bischoff creates the World Heavyweight Champion. Now, you may have heard me talking on these vids recently where they were talking about having one belt on Raw, that belt being the Intercontinental Championship. You may remember they merged it with the European Championship. They merged it with the Hardcore Championship to create one big belt. That would be Raw's big belt. The problem is that Triple H is a fucking idiot and he thought that the IC Championship was beneath him, so he had them create the World Heavyweight Championship. In story, Eric Bischoff did something that to this day absolutely baffles me, because instead of having it, say for example, a tournament, on Raw leading up to Unforgiven, and the winner of the tournament is the one who gets the championship, or even having just a one-night tournament. They could have done that at Unforgiven. Remember Survivor Series 98? I know it's not the greatest of shows, but they did a one-man tournament like that. Remember WrestleMania 4? Same, well, hang on a second, now I think about it, those two aren't probably a very good example, because both turned out to be alright shows. But they could have done it King of the Ring style. They didn't have to have all the matches of the tournament on the pay-per-view. They don't do anything like that. They don't do anything of the sort. What they do is hand Triple H the championship. You're the #1 contender, have the belt. Now, this to me is plucking a belt out of thin air and give it to someone who, maybe does deserve it, but maybe, I would have preferred it a lot more to see him do a tournament route. That is my belief. Because of this, that the World Heavyweight Championship has never, in its 10 years of existence now, been considered as big a championship as the WWE Championship. It's evident, even today, that the WWE don't think that. You've already seen Stone Cold Steve Austin recently saying that they shouldn't have two World Championships. This is something I've believed since this moment, since this championship was created, because for 9 months of this year, 8 months, shall we say, of this year, they've had the Undisputed Championship. That Undisputed bit lasted 8 whole months. I mean, when they made the Undisputed Championship, did any of you have bets on how long it'd last? Did any of them have under a year? Because I know I wouldn't have bet that one bit. No. Incidentally, WWE claim it's the same belt as the old NWA Championship, and it's the same belt as the WCW Championship. It's the same physical belt. Look, this is what it looks like. For those who haven't seen it, I'm sure there's lots of you out there. Yes, it is the same. This one's a clock, obviously. It's the same physical belt, yes, but its lineage cannot be shared. It is not the actual same belt. WWE claim it is. It's not. That belt was created 10 years ago. Next, the gay wedding. Now, a couple of years ago, I did a series. You may have seen it, called 2002 Sucked. Remember I did my 1999 Sucked? I also did a similar series called 1999 Sucked, but on 2002 Sucked. I'm an idiot. It's you should know this by now. Yeah, I did. It was more, instead of focusing on the pay-per-views, I focused on the storylines that they did in 2002. And this is one of the ones that I absolutely slated. This was a ratings ploy, that I just do not understand why they did this. Bearing in mind, let's just think about this before we go on. The whole point of wrestling is to make money. You can say, oh yeah, my company exists to entertain the fans, right? No, it doesn't. You want to make money off it. That's the simple one. So, right, we know that Billy and Chuck have been teaming up, apart from Future Shock, obviously. Obviously, they're the exception. So that Billy and Chuck have been teaming all year, and they've been pretty damn camp during this time, have they not? On my notes it says they were so important they were left off the SummerSlam card, but if you think about it, it was more than that. Since they dropped the championships at Vengeance, wasn't it? No, before that, they dropped the championships to Edge and Hulk Hogan on July the 4th, didn't they? That's right. They've been nothing. They've been free-falling ever since. This is one of those things that I think to myself, like, have they done this bullshit to just give them something to do, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, in September 2002, Chuck proposed to Billy, who accepted. The wedding was set to be on SmackDown, and the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation, that's GLAD with 2 A's, and we'll call them out from now on, were consulted. They helped the angle on to make sure it seemed legitimate until the actual wedding. On the morning of the show, Billy and Chuck all over the press, all over radio, TV, there was a spokesperson from GLAD gave them a gravy boat on a particular TV show, that his name escaped me, they gave them this, for being positive role models. Now, this is all good until the actual night. During the commitment ceremony, Billy and Gunn start looking nervous. Rico, their stylist, is egging them on. Comes time to anyone object, out comes the Godfather, his first appearance since, was it Royal Rumble? Maybe before that, I don't know. Anyway, his first appearance in ages, comes out, with the hose, yada yada yada, says that they're not gay, guys. These guys were all over my hose, They start saying that they say the vows, they both say I do, and then they go, as it's about to say, as it's all about to go down, to finish, they're like, whoa, come on, this isn't right, we're not gay, this is just, they actually say, this was just a publicity stunt. But the priest says that they've actually said the vows are officially married. I don't think that goes anywhere else. Anyway, the point here is that the star of the whole thing was Eric Bischoff. He described himself as the priest officiating the wedding, and that was fantastic. He says, in this, he puts on this whiny voice, which I'll attempt to do now. It doesn't matter if your wedding lasts 60 years, 15 years, 5 minutes, 3 minutes. And he goes, stop, wait a minute. Did I just hear myself say 3 minutes? That was the entertaining part of the show. The whole point is 3-minute warning, come out and give the guys a beat at Billy and Chuck a beatdown, and then give Stephanie a beatdown, thus turning Billy and Chuck face just by doing that. The whole point of this, which makes me laugh so much, is that GLAD were absolutely outraged when they sat down on Friday night to watch SmackDown. Now, this is just smacks of idiocy, does it not? SmackDown, as now, was taped on a Tuesday night for air on a Friday. It's taped on for a Tuesday, airs on a Thursday nowadays. Sorry, it's the other way around. Yeah, it's aired on a Thursday, wasn't it? Thursday night SmackDown. Sorry, I get confused. I'm an idiot. Yeah, no one bothered to check when the taping was done, because I'm pretty certain there was spoiler sheets, dirt sheets back then. I mean, actually, there's no pretty certain about it. I used to go on ProWrestling.com back then to get spoilers, for goodness sake. I don't like spoiler sites, but back in the day I used to really like them. The whole point, that just makes me laugh. It really does make me laugh. But this, I don't understand how this was A, meant to make money, B, meant to get Billy and Chuck over as babyfaces. The whole point of it was to set up what I will call a throwaway match at Unforgiven between 3-minute warning and Billy and Chuck. The whole thing is, the stipulation is that if 3-minute warning wins, Stephanie McMahon has to do some HLA. Speaking of which, we'll get back to that one later on. HLA though, hot lesbian action. They spent an episode of Raw promoting this one. In some respects, my poor little brain can actually see where they were coming from with this one, because this was this and the gay wedding were the last sort of dregs, in my opinion, of the Attitude Era. These were the very last bits of it. Some people say the Attitude Era ended in 2005. I think you're wrong. I think it ended right here, because they'd done shock TV in the Attitude Era. That's what some of it was all about, wasn't it? So they thought they'd do these two things to get people talking, to get some ratings. Hot lesbian action. Let me tell you something. Do you remember King of the Ring 1998? Was it King of the Ring? Was it? Oh man, my brain's not working. So either one or the other, King of the Ring 98 or Fully Loaded 98. They had a bikini contest between Sable and Jacqueline, wasn't it? Remember Sable had the handprints over her boobies? Yeah, I was 15 when I saw that. That was quite incredible for a 15-year-old. Oh my god, look at them tits, right? So you can probably see where they were coming from here. Hot young women making out with each other, all the teenage boys in the audience drooling all over them. So why not? The ladies come out, they start making out, they get attacked by a 3-minute warning. I don't know why, but yeah, I mean, it's a good way of making us boo 3-minute warning, I suppose. But the HLA thing, I just to this day don't understand it. I just don't get hot lesbian action one bit. It didn't last longer than this pay-per-view, than Unforgiven, to be honest. So yeah, we'll talk about HLA and the gay wedding a bit later on, shall we? Let's get on with the show, because I've waffled on for way too long, haven't I? Look how long I've been waffling. I don't know how long it is. In the dark match, I just thought I'd mention this. When Rey Mysterio, remember him? He had that amazing match with Kurt Angle at SummerSlam in the opener. Yeah, so important. He's in the dark match, defeating Guerrero. As I mentioned before, I don't remember watching this show, since the night it's aired. A long time ago, it's 10 years, dickhead. So, in the opening contest, Kane, Goldust, Booker T, and Bubyrate Dudley defeated the Unamericans in an alright match. William Regal has been added to the Unamericans probably because he's not really doing anything else, is he? Kane has been out since what? Just after WrestleMania. He had the bicep injuries. Remember X-Pac coming out wearing Kane's mask at Backlash and Insurrection. In another one of those matches, it feels like it was at SummerSlam, there's not really much to say, as it's Booker T facing peril. Kane gets the hot tag, cleans house until a plump angle slam by Test puts him down, and then the rest of the match, honestly, the rest of the match is each man hitting his finisher in turn. And it's weird because the crowd absolutely love it, and I sit here marking out like a bandit for it. And yes, all these finishing moves that I've not seen in fracking ages. Chokeslam for Lance Storm, obviously, who else is going to do the job? And this one's over at 9 minutes and 59 seconds. Let me tell you, the first 8 minutes of this match didn't do anything for me. The crowd loved it though. And they were so into the last 2 minutes of this one that you probably bumped up. This was a 1-star match that I'm probably quite happy to go 1.5, 2 stars because of the last couple of minutes. Honestly, it's just that good. Next, Chris Jericho defeating Ric Flair in an okay match to retain the Intercontinental Championship. These guys had a star and a 3/4 match at SummerSlam. Jericho had beaten RVD on the previous Raw. Making Raw look like nothing going into the big title match. We'll talk about that in a minute. Just one of the things why it's in my mind though. Jericho used the Wolves of Jericho. Yeah, he beat him by submission to win the IC title. He was a heel. He didn't cheat or anything. He just beat him clean. Funny. Anyway, still loving Jericho's heel beard. Absolutely awesome. Lawler in this one talks about veterans who should make way for the youth. Fantastic. 10 years ago, he was saying that. Whole funk load of chops in this one, as you expect. Flair drops a knee off the second rope before hitting a shin breaker and going for the figure 4. See, that I liked. Remember what I was saying at SummerSlam about how Flair won with the figure 4, having done nothing to the knee. At least he does some preparation work for this one. Jericho cradles for 2, goes for a lion salt, lands on his feet, and looks like he's injured. Now, heel Flair, because he's babyface Flair here. Heel Flair, we're just going, oh right, he's injured, and put the figure 4 on. But he knows his face, he has to go along with it. Jericho asks for time. Referees come out, trainers come out, sorry. As the trainer comes running out, Jericho pops up, clips the leg, locks on the walls, and gets the win at 6 minutes and 17 seconds. Let me tell you something about this match. I'm giving it a 1.5 stars. I probably would have given it 2, maybe more than that, because I was actually enjoying the match, believe it or not. But it's so short. It's 6:17. This match needed at least 5 more minutes, in my opinion, because I was enjoying it. Next, in the back, Eric Bischoff gives 3-minute warning of pep talk. Rico says he knows Billy and Chuck inside out. You can make from that what you want. If they are gay, he knows them probably quite well inside. Then we see Shaq O'Neal in the audience, which is lovely, I suppose, if you like basketball. I don't, so it's just some guy. And next, Eddie Guerrero defeating Edge in an absolutely superb match. These guys had a 3 3/4 match at SummerSlam, spoiled by some seriously dumb psychology at the end. Really hope they fix it here. The story going in is Edge had a concussion, which is, all you need to know. Surely, all you need to know is that he's got a concussion. What do you do when you've got a concussion? Work that head. That's all I want to see from Eddie Guerrero in this match is working the head. So Eddie, that's what I want you to do. Edge controls with power slam and a suplex that both get 2 until Eddie hits an absolutely fucking perfect, right on top of his noggin, tornado DDT. Works the head. And then he goes to work on the neck and the head with a vertical suplex and this absolutely crazy full Nelson with the legs. It looks awesome. He continues on the head with a back suplex and a front face lock, which is good psychology. Normally I wouldn't be asked about front face lock, but if you work in the head, that is. Oh yes, Edge fights out but Eddie cuts off the comeback immediately. Literally, he powers out of it, bounces off the ropes, and he's just like, whatever, back elbow to him. Fantastic. Stomps on the head. Stomping on the head. If you've got a concussion, what you don't want is a guy doing this, do you? That's good psychology. That works for me brilliantly. Edge with a big punch to push them both down for a double KO. Edge is up first, but he's turnbuckle, so Eddie goes back to hard punches to the head. Eddie then, it's brilliant, right? He's using closed fists, and Eddie just goes to ref, okay, I'm sorry, it's really sarcastically. Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, he does that. As he's doing that, Edge rolls him up for 2. Neck breaker by Eddie, but Edge comes back with an atomic drop and a bulldog for 2. Eddie looks for the brain buster, but Edge turns him in with an drops him with an edge-o-matic for another near fall, which is brilliant. Jawbreaker by Eddie as the crowd appear to be turning to Eddie's side. That's an interesting one, isn't it? He goes for a rope walk, but Edge counters into a sweet set-out bomb for 2. Edge is selling the head perfectly as Taz reckons there's nothing left in the tank. Edge drops Eddie face first on a turnbuckle but misses a spear. Oh no, I've lost my place. Misses a spear attempt. Execution but Eddie gets his foot on the ropes like the veteran that he is. He misses a missile dropkick. Eddie loosens a turnbuckle pipe, but when he tries to whip Edge into it, it's reversed, and then Edge follows up with a spear in the corner. He sets Eddie up on the top rope. Eddie hits an absolutely fucking brutal looking sunset flip powerbomb for the win at 11 minutes and 54 seconds. And the way it's done, yeah, I may put a link to this in the description, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, I will. I'll put a link to the description of this match. Go watch it and watch the powerbomb, because he lands right on the back of his head. I mean, if they're going for psychology, yeah, brilliant. There's only one little tiny thing, and that's that he... Actually, no, I'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, I love matches like this. They make me happy. Decent psychology all the way through. And at the end of the day, I understand that people like Super Cena can have a concussion, can come back for it, but mid-card guys, I like this. He's got a concussion, so you have the advantage, and as the heel, you can do whatever you want to gain that advantage, and you can get the win. Absolutely fantastic. There's one little thing, and I'll mention this now, right? And what I did is I've wanted to do this idea for a while, which is if I see a really good match on a pay-per-view that I'm reviewing, I'll put a link to it if I can find the match on YouTube, and say to the people, my friends on Facebook, like, what did you think of this? Let me know. And the best one, the best description, whatever, I'll use in my vid. So, Philip Talkington on Facebook says, I gave it 3.5 stars, superb match and a massive step above their SummerSlam encounter, which was still very good. The chemistry is perfect. He says that only Kurt Angle had better chemistry with Edge. The exchange is sublime, and the finish, and listen, what a brutal powerbomb. I personally, and this is my only gripe with this match, I share this sentiment exactly, Philip. I personally don't think Eddie needed to hold Edge's tights, which is what he did. He rolled him up, with the sunset flower pit. There, we'll go with that. With the sunset flower pit bomb, he rolled up the tights. He held onto the tights as well as having hit the powerbomb. Didn't really need to do that, like I say, they're absolutely devastating powerbomb. Cheers for that, Philip. Good match. I give it 4 stars. I'd love to know what you thought of that one. In the back, Triple H runs down RVD and Ric Flair. And then, as I said earlier on, this was a throwaway match. It's 3-minute warning, defeating Billy and Chuck in an absolutely crap match. This was so poor. I said earlier, this is a throwaway match on the pay-per-view. It is. I'm pretty certain, however many buys this pay-per-view does, and it says down below, I can't be bothered to check out right this minute, I'm pretty certain that not a single soul who bought this pay-per-view because of this match. Alright? Chuck plays face in peril until Rosie misses a moonsault, enabling Chuck to hot tag Billy, who cleans house, hitting Jamal with a famous but instead of doing he's a babyface now, instead of doing the logical thing, he doesn't want to get the pin in a wrestling match. That'd just be stupid. Oh no. What does he do? He goes after Rico, obviously. What does that mean? Oh, that means that when he gets back in the ring, he gets double Samoan dropped, and that means that he loses. Stupid match, 6 minutes 38, nothing of substance whatsoever, and it's a dud. Oh no, wait, I'm sorry. What the fuck is wrong with me? I'm not meant to sit here and diss this. I'm meant to be happy, aren't I? Because now we're going to get to see Stephanie McMahon perform some HLA. Excellent. What is fucking wrong with me? Next. Triple H defeating Rob Van Dam in a fracking boring match to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. The build to this one was weird because they seem to be going absolutely out of their way to make RVD just look like he's not in Triple H's league. I mean, for example, at one point they had him do an interview segment, in the ring, and the best that he could do to mock Triple H was say, "You are very good at spitting water." He mocked Triple H for his entrance. Really. And then, as I mentioned before, he lost the IC Championship a week before, and he lost it clean as a whistle to the walls of Jericho. Maybe it wasn't. I'm going to be honest here. I can't remember if Triple H interfered, but let's think about it. He still lost by submission, which isn't good. Let's look at it realistically. If Triple H had run in and hit RVD, do you not think Jericho would have just pinned him? That's my thinking for this one, all right? So. RVD looks so stoned. So stoned. And basically, the story of this one is headlocks. There's headlock, followed by a bit of flipping from RVD, followed by another headlock. It's slow, it's methodical. And when a match is slow and methodical and it's going somewhere, I like it. This one, I don't understand. RVD's finishing moves a frog splash. Why does he need to do a headlock? You know, Triple H does sleepers a lot. I mean, there's some things that are all right in it. There's a I've lost my place because someone's just fucking commented on one of my Facebook things. I should really turn the Facebook off when I'm doing these videos. He goes for a somersault plancher to the outside, somersaults over the ropes. Yeah, Triple H is there, and he calmly like moves out the way. And the splat that RVD makes when he hits the ground, he's like, ooh, you know. Let's skip to the end of this one, shall we? Let's skip to the end. Jeff Hardy. It says Jeff Hardy there. Triple H, listen, don't mock me. Jeff Hardy is mentioned here. Triple H locks on a sleeper that Jeff Hardy, okay, it's coming, had beaten Jeff Hardy with on Raw. He beat Jeff Hardy and Spike Dudley, actually, now I think about it, with a sleeper. And maybe they were trying to establish this as one of Triple H's finishing moves, I don't know. But he gets put, RVD gets put in a sleeper. He powers out, does a few flips, and then the referee gets bumped. 5-star, no referee. Triple H gets his phallic hammer out, and here comes Ric Flair. No, Triple H had been running down earlier, so of course Ric Flair's gonna hit. He's got the hammer, for God's sake. He's gonna hit Triple H. Oh wait, he's just hit RVD. For no reason whatsoever, he's just hit Rob Van Dam. Can anyone tell me why he did this? Because it's not like him and RVD being tag team partners. It's not like he'd had any allegiance or alliance with RVD up until this point. He hits him for no reason at all. Absolutely no reason. Pedigree, this one's over a staggeringly long 18 minutes. This was 10 minutes too long in my opinion. It was boring. I mean, there was some good stuff, but it's a start, which is really bad, especially when you see what's coming up next. It's got no merit to it at all. It just is. It's the start of the Triple H reign. What you remember is, other than between Survivor Series and Armageddon, Triple H held this belt from, well, he held it from Armageddon, didn't he? To Unforgiven next year. And it's just remembered, for me, it's remembered as the title reign that never ends and is full of shit matches. Here's the first one. Oh yes, remember what I just said about why I want to give it a star? Because the next match is, I give it a star. And that's Trish Stratus defeating Molly Holly in an okay match. Now, it's funny that a poor women's match from 2002, and this one isn't great, looks like a 5-star classic considering all the shite we have to sit through now, doesn't it? Oh yeah. Lawler talk about swimming. Now, don't get me wrong, feel bad for Jerry Lawler for having his heart attack, I feel bad for him, I'm really glad he's recovering. It doesn't change my fucking opinion of the guy that he's a fucking dirty pervert. I was going to say pedo, and that's a bit much. He's a dirty pervert. Listening to him here, 60-year-old man, or 55, whatever he was here, or 50 even, talking about how he wants to show Trish Stratus his breaststroke is fucking pathetic and creepy and makes me just go, oh, Anyway, nice storytelling is this one, as Molly beats on Trish. She takes advantage at any chance she gets, does Trish. Any chance, any opening, she takes it. Excuse me. After some good back and forth action, a snap suplex gets 2 for Molly. She whips Trish into the ring steps, then back inside. She puts on an absolutely beautiful straight jacket sleeper over the knees and then turns it around so she's on her back and just like that. It looks so good. The crowd don't care. I'm enjoying it. Trish is able to come back with a bulldog for 2, followed by a chick kick that also gets 2. Molly goes up top but gets crotched. Must ask any women watching this, does that hurt? Could that possibly hurt? Is there any way that hurts? I need to know. Maybe it's just my pig ignorance and everything, but with the absence of testicles, that can't hurt, can it? Can I just consult? Yeah, I have female viewers. I think about 13% of my overall viewership is from women. Let me know, please. Please let me know. Anyway, Trish goes for the handstand Rana, but it's blocked, leaving Trish in a tree of woe. Handspring elbow by Molly. That gets 2, and then Trish uses a bulldog to get the win at 5:46. And I enjoyed this one. 5 more minutes of it would have made me a happier boy, if I'm honest. We'll probably get heat for this one, but for me it gets the same rating as the previous match. Because I enjoyed it so much more, because it wasn't boring. At no point was this boring, in my opinion. I know I say this a lot, but Trish Stratus would fucking get banged into next week. She really was. She's the best diva, in my opinion, ever. Right, let's go on with some good stuff. So, Kurt Angle losing to Chris Benoit in an absolutely stunning match. Absolutely brilliant, this one. Long feeling out process at the start as both men try to get on their submissions. Pinfall reverse sequence looks awesome and leads to a crossface, but Angle gets to the ropes. They brawl on the outside before going inside, where Angle connects with a rib breaker as security ejects someone. You notice on Angle puts a body scissors on, and you notice clearly in the background that someone's being escorted out. That makes me smile. Benoit escapes, walks into a kitchen sink. If you don't know what a kitchen sink is, it is a running knee to the gut. That's what it's called on No Mercy, therefore that is what it is. Angle with shoulders in the corner, but a blind charge misses and he eats post. Benoit whips his shoulder first into the post and hits a backdrop suplex. Good psychology there. Crossface works the neck and the shoulders. I mentioned that it worked the shoulders last time, and I got dissed for it in comments because it works the neck. All right, okay, we'll compromise. It works the neck and the shoulder. It does. It works your rotator cuff. It just does. Angle comes back with belly to belly, then they trade Germans. They do so many Germans, so very many Germans. Angle gets the most there. He eventually manages to hit 3 in a row. Angle slam is countered into a ridiculous release German suplex where Angle comes down on his face, does a full 180 in the air, comes down on his face. He goes up top, but Angle is able to hit that running super belly to belly that he does. That's so nice. Bridging pin gets 2 for Benoit. Ankle lock, but Benoit fights out, and they do a tombstone reversal sequence that leads to, you see, some people get on me for psychology, and they get on me a lot. I understand that. Some people don't either get or don't like psychology in wrestling matches. If you don't, that's fine. Don't understand it. But okay, do a tombstone reversal sequence. But Benoit, because he's a fucking genius, drops him onto a shoulder breaker instead of hitting a tombstone. That's fucking superb. That's absolutely freaking dope. Diamond headbutt connects and gets 2 crossface, and the crowd are chanting tap out. But in one of those moments that you just love, Angle managed to scoot himself round, and grabs hold of one of Benoit's legs, puts the ankle lock on. So they both got the submission moves on at the same time. So of course, naturally, they have to break it, which is just awesome. They do a breathtaking submission reversal sequence that the crowd love, leading to an Angle crossface, awesome. Benoit crawls to the rope, and in a moment, this is the second moment of this match that this is so clever. Angle's got him in the crossface, Benoit crawls forward, reaches out to the ropes. Angle sort of scoots himself around just a little bit and puts his fucking foot on the rope, pushes it out so Benoit can't reach. That's genius. Really, really is. That's the type of thing that I just sit and laugh at because it's so good. More people should do that as well. Roll-up sequence that leads to Benoit getting the roll-up with his feet on the ropes. At 13:55. Absolutely fucking brilliant match. This was one of the matches of the year for me, I think. Oh gosh, that's very gassy. Could probably live without that finish because it reminds me of the WrestleMania X7 match. That was one with a foot on the ropes as well, wasn't it? No, a handful of tights, wasn't it? But I suppose I can live with that. It's a 4-star match for definite. Again, as I mentioned before, put this one on Facebook. Do you remember Sarcastic Venom? I'm sure lots of you still watch his vids. He said terrific match, not good as their WrestleMania or their Royal Rumble 03 match. I'd probably go for 4 stars myself. Adam Grimes also says on Facebook, "This perfect up until the ending with the ropes. I understand why it was because Angle was cheating with the ropes, but then Benoit turned the tables. But at the same time, there is something disappointing to it. I know exactly what you mean, Adam. I know exactly what you mean because it just felt, oh come on." But the thing is, they do all the psychology and they put their various submission moves on. Why win with a pinfall? That's my thoughts. Why can't you just win with your submission? Oh god, it's the HLA segment, right? Right, so we'll do the short version. I'm going to try and give you the shortest version of this I can because I need to talk about this one logically. We're going to add some logic to wrestling. Oh lord, I don't want to watch this. Anyway, the crowd are actually looking forward to this, which is a problem I'll talk about shortly. Eric comes out with 2 lesbians, which is lovely. One's called Peaches, one's called Cream. They start to get it on, but he stops them. And when I say they start to get it on, they feel each other up a bit, and as they lean in for the kiss, Eric stops them, brings out Stephanie. She doesn't look happy about this at all. The lesbians remove their tops. They take off Stephanie's jacket, and they're about to get it on with Stephanie. But then Eric changes his mind. He brings out a really fat woman who, he runs down. Stephanie doesn't, she's not like, I don't want to make out with that. And then all of a sudden, she jumps on top of this fat woman, starts making out with her. Eric Bischoff can't believe it. What the hell is going on? And he eats a super kick for his trouble. And then, oh dear me. And then he reveals himself to be Rikishi. She reveals herself to be Rikishi. Yay! Does the stink face on Bischoff, and Stephanie triumphs over Eric Bischoff once again, and it's just one of those, oh goody. Now, this is the type of thing that Mr. Dave Rain disses me for a lot because I break things down. But shut up, Dave. Let's go with just a tiny little bit of logic. So first things first, the crowd and Jerry Lawler really wanted to see Stephanie make out with some lesbians. Now, I said before, didn't I, that the HLA concept baffles me just a little bit, but hey, who doesn't want to see Stephanie making out with another girl? You know? Secondly, and most importantly, I can't get my head around this, because logically, to have done this, to have pulled this off, to have got the better of Eric Bischoff, Stephanie, right? Sorry, Eric Bischoff mentioned that the fat lesbian that he brought in had been hanging around his hotel, right? And that's what made him change his mind. So, oh God, this was obviously not a spur of the moment thing. This was planned, right? You know, that he would change his mind. So Stephanie, oh God damn. I'm sorry, I'm still trying to get my head around this one. If it had been planned, right, and Stephanie must have known that Billy and Chuck would lose, right? She must have known that Eric would bring out his own lesbians. She must have known that Eric would then change his mind and bring out a big fat lesbian. Now let's think about this. All of that straight up baffles me. Why would you go into a match knowing your tag team would lose? Why would you then also just know that Eric Bischoff, he's not going to use these two lesbians, he's going to use the fat lesbian? Oh yes, I don't understand this one bit. There's also, and then if you think about it in even more detail, just thought of this, surely Stephanie would have had to pay Rikishi lots and lots of money, or convince Rikishi to not only dress up as a woman, but also go and hang around at Eric Bischoff's hotel. And then you have to, oh God, look, there's more. You have to factor in that Eric Bischoff is so fucking stupid that he didn't recognise Rikishi in drag, which we all saw, everyone in the arena and us watching at home, the moment this woman came out. This 10-minute segment was so fucking awful. Jesus Christ, it was so bad. Just thinking about it makes me fucking pissed off. If you feel the need to do shit like this, can you do it on Raw when I'm not fucking paying for it? 10 minutes of a pay-per-view, you know? When was the last time the fucking Cruiserweight Championship was defended on pay-per-view? Put it there. Aha! Anyway, lastly. Okay. Brock Lesnar fought The Undertaker to a double disqualification. Oh dear. So yeah, number one contender isn't good enough for this one. No. And the fact that Taker jumped onto SmackDown so that he could go at Brock, that's not mentioned one bit in the build-up for this one. No, they go after Heyman and Lesnar, mock and go after Taker's pregnant wife Sarah. That's lovely. Whoop-de-doo. So I'd actually forgotten just how bad Undertaker's music was at this time, because they've added words to it and it's so poor. Oh, he's kicking assholes' ass. Shut up. Anyway, as soon as Lesnar's music hits, I always say, well, here comes the pain, which bothers me because it means it something Taz says has got over. So taking controls from the start, which the crowd love. He goes to work on the arm, which I should enjoy. I really should. But do you really think it's going to go anywhere? Taker working? No, he's not. He could do, prove me wrong, Taker. He stays in control until he connects with Old School, where he decides instead of continuing to beat on Lesnar, he does a babyface thing and goes after Heyman. Heyman's on the apron, one big boot for Heyman. What does he do? Lesnar comes back with a suplex, goes to work on the ribs with big punches, a truly massive power slam, and the bear hug, the Hogan killing bear hug of doom. Did I say that on the last one? The bend? Did I say that? On SummerSlam, the Hogan killing bear hug of doom! Just in case I didn't, I'm going to start saying it now. I'm such a moron. Anyway, that killed the crowd. That completely killed the crowd. Taker comes out working the ribs himself and naturally not selling his injured ribs one bit. They go outside where Lesnar hits Taker with a title belt, busting Taker open. Lesnar works the cup. Taker comes back with a big boot for 2. Snake eyes and another big boot get 2. The referee gets bumped, chokes on, no referee. For reasons I don't know, Matt Hardy comes running in and gets owned, which is absolutely lovely. When I say he gets owned, he's a fucking big ass last ride. Spine buster by Brock gets 2. Taz says new champion as the counts go down. Honestly, new champion. Oh, DDT by Taker gets 2. He goes for a tombstone, but it's blocked, and the referee gets bumped again. Heyman puts a chair in the ring. Lesnar gets it. Taker blocks the shot, uses the chair himself. Is it weird? Is it me? Unprotected chair shots just look weird these days. Not getting your hand up, it makes me cringe. It really does for some reason. Lesnar's busted open. Heyman gets owned on the outside again. Another big boot and a leg drop at 2 for Taker as the referee shows quite remarkable powers of recovery. He's up already. How's he managed that? Crowd are pretty hot for this one. They believe, honestly, that was the finish. And there's a big oh when he kicks out of the leg drop. Really? Yeah. Last rider's countered, F5 is countered, and then this is the bit that bothers me. Something fierce. I knew there was a reason I haven't watched this match since the night, and it was this awful finish. As they start brawling in the corner, and referee Brian Hebner tries to, does a 5 count, lets them have that, and then tries to pull them apart. They start brawling again, so he pulls them apart. And then Lesnar actually gets him by the throat on the turnbuckle and starts yelling at him. Both of them shove him down, and it's a double disqualification. And the crowd, quite rightly, shit all over it. Really give it a damn good booing. As they should have done. And then they keep brawling. They brawl, and they brawl, and they brawl. The referees come out, chokeslam by Taker, and then they brawl some more up the entrance, where Lesnar is launched through the entrance stage. Now, I'm a nice guy, but I can't think what to give this one. Overbooked to hell. Psychology that didn't go anywhere. One hell of a shitty finish. 1 star is what I'm going to go with this one, because I'm a nice guy. I'm a really nice guy. This one also went 20 minutes, by the way, which was 10 minutes too long, in my opinion. So, overall, let's look at this one. So 2 4-star matches on one show is not to be sniffed at, is it? Which means, you should... The rest of the show is painfully average at best. It actually feels like a modern day WWE pay-per-view, to be honest. The epicness and stuff was SummerSlam. This is a big come down. I think I'm going to go 5 out of 10. If I were you, I'll put links to those 2 matches down below in the descriptions box. If you've got the time, go watch them and tell me what you thought. Go watch them, come back, tell me what you think of them, because both of them are superb matches. The rest of this pay-per-view, I pretty much guarantee I'll have forgotten by this time next week. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, next time out, we're going to do WWE No Mercy 2002. I know for a fact that there's a legitimate match of the year contender match on that one, a tag team title match. I think I recall properly. I will be back soon, I'm sure, for another vid. I've been Mark P. Thank you very much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Let me know what you thought of the show down below, and I will see you all very soon. Take it easy, guys. Thanks for watching and all that jazz.